On today's episode, we kick off our ITB build series. That's right, I am going from turbo to ITB. Wait a second, hold on. This means I'm gonna be slower now? I don't know if this is right. Hold on. Now, before we get into why we're ditching the turbo setup, to begin with, we gotta go back in time, back to when I originally first got the Miata, and we'll bring you through all the iterations that has led me to this choice. Harp sound, harp sound, harp sound, harp sound. So originally, when I first bought the car, it was a 1.6. The 1.6 is a beast. Anyone knows anything about Miatas, it is by far the best engine in terms of reliability and making power.
I don't believe you.
So good in reliability that the crank bolt decided to eject itself right out the front. A lot of people are very proud of their 1.6s, and there's a lot of claims on the internet about them being the best engine. My experience wasn't that positive, and I was forced into replacing the engine because of how reliable it is. So I didn't put back a 1.6. I did grab a 1.8 from a local junkyard. Also, at the same time, I did do the exhaust intake cam setup. This is like an old school mod. Greg has a video on this, like he does everything. Fast forward several years of me running that 1.8 on a stock ECU. Stefan and I meet. Ha, so cute. And I have this great idea. Let's work on this car together, and we'll bring it to the track. Stefan's car was ground up restoration. It was a 1.6 at the time, True King, and he was never going to take it to the track. So I'm like, hey, let's work on my car together, trade some seat time. So we're thinking about massaging a head, put a head together. One thing leads to another, and it's like, you know what? It's cheaper just to buy a full engine. And before we know it, we're swapping in a VVT, and we did the whole series on it. That was the first series we did on the channel. We made around 180 horsepower, about 100 horsepower per liter in the end. That was like full rip. After completing that setup and driving it for a season, I was very tempted by some locals. You know who you are. We even got to review a very minty Mazda Speed. That was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. Like, this is the ultimate. This is what Miata Dad does. This is what everyone in the comments feed talks about doing, and it's the best option. So I did it. We put that together, piecemealed like a Fly Miata and a bunch of custom fabrication from Stefan. He does awesome work. Made just over 250 wheel horsepower and ran it last summer. Now, initially, I was definitely happy, but over time, I wouldn't say that I disliked the setup. I felt like I was at crossroads. I either had to double down and build the bottom end, get a 6-speed, do all those things that you normally would do to hit 300 wheel, or do something completely different. In my crossroads video, where I was really just debating, I didn't know what I wanted to do, I mentioned BOFI, one of their posts about the different parts of a stock Miata and at what limit those stock parts can go horsepower-wise. It's great post. Dan from BOFI saw that and reached out. So let's do a little quick intro from Dan over at BOFI, because he is going to be our spirit guide throughout this process.
Thanks, Dylan. I'm Dan from BOFI Racing, and you might know us from other YouTube videos, such as that time where we blew up Will's car and forged it in a day. Well, it was actually a bank holiday weekend, and then promptly managed to do a massive burnout in our yard. If you don't know us, if you're not already a customer, we are a leading supplier of all the MX-5 parts you might need, and we ship globally, UK, USA, Canada, all of that good stuff, and we even have all the cool parts. We have all the right fluids.
Wow.
We have fancy 3J differentials.
Wow.
And we even have on the shelf custom Wasner high performance pistons.
Wow, look at this. Do you know what this means?
If that gives you an idea of the kind of length and breadth of the stock that we keep. Hopefully that helps. But also we are a dab hand at playing with these cars, and we like to think we know them inside out now. Dylan started his conversation about, is he going down the road of a heavily turbocharged car, which we've done, you know, and it's cool, but it isn't necessarily what an MX-5 is. It's a different conversation, I think. He kind of wanted to go back to what made him smile the most, and sometimes it's going back to the start. So we are going on a little journey, and we're going to see if we can put that smile back on Dylan's face. It's certainly going to be cool. Anyway, I look forward to a very fun-packed series with the boys.
What are we doing next, Stefan? What can we expect from the next episode?
So next, we're ripping the turbo out. We've already got a buyer for it, so it's gone. And then we are taking a road trip to get something special. It is a BP.
It is.
It is a BP, we'll give you that, but it is not your standard BP.
You know what, guys? I don't want to wait till next episode. Let's just give it out of the way right now. We are going to do a 2-liter ITB VVT BP. That's a lot of letters. We're doing a 2-liter independent throttle body VVT BP engine. It's gonna be epic. No, in all seriousness, it's gonna be something very different. Yes, there are some ITB builds out there. Quinn is the first one that comes to mind. Stock bottom end though.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
We don't have a lot of people doing these all-out, like 2-liter race engine builds. And I'm gonna be stupid enough to do it. That's right, I didn't like the reliability of a stock bottom end turbo, but we're going to do a whole fully built ITB engine.
What is wrong with you?
And I really want to capture that screaming ITB engine. Let's see how far we can get. Can we make 100 horsepower per liter again, but this time on a 2-liter? Let's find out. Subscribe down below, like this video. It is something totally different. I don't think there's any series out there who's done something like this. Share the video if you like it, and stay tuned. This is going to be an interesting one. Ooh, the do. Do it. Do the do. Actually, no. Do the nitro. Do the nitro. So delicately fluffy.